Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Tony Needs Hobbies. My name is Tony.
And my name is Enrico.
And today we converted the kitchen into a brewery because for the first time on this channel we're going to brew a beer and it will be a New England IPA. Have fun watching. The beer that we are going to brew today will be my 40th batch. Enrico and I are going to pull out all the stops to make this New England style IPA a fantastic brew. Some things that I will do differently from what I normally do to make this the best beer yet are using a ton of hops at flame out and for dry hopping and using liquid yeast and a yeast starter. I'll talk you through the details later. You can find the recipe for this beer in the description box. It is loosely based on the recipe of Brewdog's King of Eights version 2 to be found in their recipe ebook DIY Dog, also to be found in the description box. You can see we started with the first step, milling the malts and grains. We will need pale malt, Munich malt, wheat malt and flaked oats. All of it, except for the oats, will go through the malt mill to crush the grains. Meanwhile, we added some boiling water to the mash tun built out of a converted cooler to heat it up. Also, a big pot with 23 liters of water is heating up to 74 degrees Celsius on the big burner of the stove. We added a pH 5.2 buffer to keep the water at the ultimate pH for mashing. When all the malts are crushed and milled, we remove the boiled water from the preheated mash tun so we can put the 23 liters of hot water in it. I used a calculator from brewersfriend.com to calculate the temperatures based on the amount of grains and mash thickness. If we add this all together, we should hit the mashing temperature of 67 degrees Celsius. And guess what? We totally hit the right temperature. That's why I love those brewersfriend.com calculators. Now we let it sit for around 75 to 90 minutes to be sure that all the starches are converted into sugars. When I started brewing beer quite a few years ago, I always did a starch conversion test using a tincture of iodine. During the first 20 batches or so, the outcome of the test was always negative, so now I do not bother to test anymore and go straight into filtering the wort into my kettle. The first 2 liters will be very cloudy, so they will go back into the mash tun to be filtered again. When it is completely drained, I will add another 19 liters of water at 78 degrees Celsius for sparging. It will get a good stir and it will sit for 15 minutes before draining into the kettle. I will end up with around 30 liters in the kettle. Again, the first 2 liters will go back so the beer will get more clear. However, a New England style IPA can and probably will be cloudy, so that's not a big problem. Using the biggest burner of the stove, the wort will be boiling in no time. Alright, we finished mashing, now let's bring it up to a boil and add the hops, and in the meantime enjoy this homebrewed English ale. Cheers! While it is heating up, we measure the hops. This New England IPA requires almost 500 grams of hops. I'm using 60 grams of Cascade as a bittering hop, 60 grams of each of Cascade, Citra and Galena at flame out, and 4 days in the fermentation I will add 70 grams of each to the fermenter for dry hopping. I have never used that large amount of hops in a brew before, so I hope this beer will be amazingly good. After adding the bittering hops, we will let it boil for 75 minutes. Then the Cascade, Citra and Galena Aroma hops are added at flame out, and I will also put the copper wort chiller in the boiling liquid to sterilize it. Then we let cold water run through it to chill the wort down to 20 degrees Celsius before adding the yeast. While the wort is chilling down, I take the yeast starter out of the fridge so it can come to room temperature. For the first time I decided to use liquid yeast as it should improve the quality of the beer, and I want this 40th batch to be my best batch yet. I'm going for the classic strain for New England style IPAs, which is Yeast 1318 London Ale 3. To get enough vital cells, I also made a starter for the first time. It went really well, so I will make a separate video about that process soon, as well as a video on how you can confirm that your fermentation is finished in order to prevent exploding bottles. Before adding the yeast, a quick check on the original gravity. It's right where it was expected at 1.064, so we can add the yeast and let the yeasty beasts do their job in a dark and cool room in the house. We have enjoyed our day of brewing
And drinking beer.
and now we still have to wait a couple of weeks for it to ferment out before dry hopping and bottling. We sure hope you have enjoyed watching this video, and if you did, don't forget to hit the like button and please subscribe to this channel if you want to see more brewing videos in the future. For now, I would like to thank you for watching. Bye bye.